Hey guys, Jay here. So it is lunch break for me. I just got back from work and I need to go to leave for work very soon. And I am eating a banh mi, right? So anyway, GGG released new gems. So there are a bunch of old gems with changes as well. But what I am interested in, and what probably a lot of you guys are interested in as well, are going to be the new gems. So we have actually 12 new gems here. Let's just go through all of them. This is 13, but one of them is a support gem. So it is not a new skill. New gems, but not new skill. So yeah, this is just more multiplier for channeling. It is a big multiplier, come with a big cost multiplier as well. I think overall it's still going to be very good because sustaining like mana, life, whatever, the resource that you need to use for casting in PoE 1 is kind of easier than PoE 2. Anyway, let's just go through all of them. Chain Hook of Trathus. This one, I've read through I've read through these one earlier, so it is going to save time in the video, by the way. So Chain Hook of Trathus. This one is a very weird gem. So from the wording that I'm reading here, obviously we have not seen footage of the gameplay, but Chain Hook of Trathus is a very weird skill. So basically you attack, you throw out a chain, it will mark the enemy or it will chain you with the enemy. Basically it will create a link, but with the enemy. And you need to actually break the chain. You need to actually basically get away from it in order for it to deal damage. So when you attack, you don't deal damage. You need to attack and then maybe move away, leaf slam away, whatever is the way you want to do to just get away from the enemy. That is when it actually triggers the damage. So I think this skill, if it functioned that way, it is dog shit. Because if you think about it, right? You attack an enemy. Normally it is in front of you. Then what you intuitively want to do is to go forward. Because you are doing the maps, right? You want to go forward, and forward. This will just punish you if you want to go forward. Because you attack them, you chain them. If you go forward, that means you are closing the gap and not breaking the chain. You need to actually move away. So move backward, to the side, whatever, in order to deal damage. So I think this is just mechanically a very weird and clunky skill. The number looks really good, by the way. Even though the number looks really good, it has very fast base attack speed, 120%, and very high attack damage effectiveness as well, close to 400%. For maybe if you want to do like this skill for a single target, so you chain them like 12 times, as you see here, maximum 12 chains, and then you move away so you deal big damage for once, then maybe, yeah, maybe I can see that happen. That might be good for single target, but other than that, for clear, this is absolute dog shit. Absolute dog shit, in my opinion. Unless it functions in a different way. Heavy Strike of Trathus, we already see this. This is just a heavy strike, no special effect. The thing that changed here is just the way that it is scaled. So if you want to do stat stacking, and by stat stacking I mean like multiple stat stacking, not only intelligence. Intelligence here cap at 100% chance to do double damage, so that is 500 intelligence. And also it is additive to any other source of dealing double damage. So stacking intelligence is not the best way, I think. Probably if people play with this, people will go for strength stacking, because strength stacking is notoriously good for getting a lot of spell damage through Iron Will. So yeah, and you have already the built-in conversion here. You have the Chronovize as well to have additional increased damage that converting from spell to attack damage. So this is just, I think it's a very strong skill for single target if you want to do like strength stacking, and you stack a bunch of intelligence anyway, so probably it's good for that. But because Molten Strike of the Zenith still exists, so probably that is going to just be better. It's because it is just a lot of multiplier. Sunderous Trathus. So this one is basically normal Sunder, but if you hit a wall, it will bounce back and create another Sunder. The problem with this one, like a lot of other Sunders, is only one Sunder can exist at the same at a time. So You cannot like spam it really. You can just kind of attack once and then move on and attack once. But if it hit a wall, you can't. If it hit a wall, it bounced back and it gained a bunch of additional stat, right? AOE damage, but that also means you need to wait for it to happen. So I think this skill, maybe if you can like corner a boss into like a wall and you will hit it repeatedly, so you can overlap it with like 2 Sunders, maybe 3, then yeah, that can be good for damage. But other than that, maybe you need a slow attack slam build to actually have good synergy with the skill, I think. Not really. I don't think it is going to be anywhere near as good as the Volcanic Fissure of Snaking. By the way, hey, it is a proud moment for me. It's not Pride Month. It's a proud moment for me. Because I have been saying Volcanic Fissure of Snaking is absolutely busted before. 2 leaks, maybe 3 leaks before, I always have a video on Volcanic Fissure of Snaking. My go-to leveling, twin leveling setup in the last 2 leaks was always Volcanic Fissure of Snaking, and I use Hollow Palm technique, so I just have a bunch of twin gear and leveling with it, and maybe even do endgame with it. Volcanic Fissure of Snaking, absolutely goated mechanically, is super strong, right? So, hey, now people realize. Now it actually seems to be becoming the meta because like big boy streamers like Fupgun is actually doing it, and a lot of other people as well. Previous league already, not previous league, but previous event, Freesia, it already caught attention because I think Goratha do it. I'm not sure if it is Goratha. I think it's Goratha and maybe other people as well. But anyway, that skill, I think, just straight up beating the crap out of Sunderous of Trathus here. I don't think this skill is going to be good enough. It's not bad, but it's not going to be like anywhere as good as like Volcanic Fissure of Snaking. It is not clearing the whole screen like Volcanic Fissure of Snaking. That one have automate targeting. It has overlaps, single target. So yeah. Bladefall of Trafice. I am very excited for this one. The reason why is, it is an instant spell, if you see here. Instant means you can hold down, or you can just even use a toothpick and just jam it on a button and let it like be always hold down. And it will spawn a bunch of Bladefall and Lingering Blade around your character. What this enable is the playstyle of Blade Blast without having to like rotate between your buttons. And also, if you run around and you have another way to trigger the Blade Blast, right? For example, brand and automation, brand recall, those kind of thing, then yeah, you can just run around, hold down this button. The Blade Blast, if you have any way to automate it, it will just cast all the time, and it just deals a bunch of good damage. I do think Bladefall of Trathus can be very build enabling, and even maybe potentially good for like AFK cast when stun build. Sure, you need to hold down this button, but if you hold down this button like for moving, that is not going to be a problem, right? I think so. Anyway, next skill. Blast Rain of Trathus. This one, I think, is just like additional single target for Ignite Bow build, like Burning Arrow build or Explosive Arrow build. Can use this one, because this is basically Fire Trap to Righteous Fire, but it is for bow Ignite build. If you think about it, because it has just a lot of base fire damage per second, and that is a burning effect, it's not ignite, so it can be deals on top of the ignite. So this, yeah, I think it's just an additional source of damage for single target. The AoE looks very big though, 3.5 meters, but I think because of mechanically the blast rain, you can only fire one at a time. So unless you scale the AoE to an insane, an absolute crazy amount, then yeah, it's not going to be that good for clear. Not, I don't think it can be like competition. It cannot be a competition to ignite proliferation. That's what I want to say. Siege Ballista of Trathus, we already see this. It seems very good numerically, but it's not a playstyle for everyone. You put down a bunch of totem, they all fire at once, and they disappear, and you cast them again. So it functions like a spell, but it is a little bit of delay. It seems like a lot of damage, though, if you think about it. It actually have 8 ballistas. Each of them is firing for 125% of base, so that is 1,000% damage effectiveness every time you cast it. Spectral Helix of Trathus. I like this one. Let me show you. Let me show you here. Infinite. I think I can. Oh wait. I need to find in my channel. How can I find in my channel? Manage videos. Okay. Infinite. Here. So this is the video that I have made previously on the Spectral Helix. This is your self-attack Spectral Helix. This is what it looks like, right? It is a projectile that's just circling around your character. If you stack a bunch of reduced projectile speed, it basically stays there forever because it moves so slowly, it cannot reach the maximum distance to disappear. So you can stack a lot of them on top of each other, and functionally, all those Spectral Helix can hit the boss every 0.3 second, I believe, if the number didn't change. But every 0.3 second, they are going to take damage from all of these. So let me see. Yeah, here is the example. For example, this is, I believe, Shaper. I'm not sure if it is the last phase. Let me... okay, here is the last phase. So this is Shaper. I am just stacking a bunch of Spectral Helix on top of it. Okay, it blinked, so it immediately blinked. But here I, again, just stack a lot of damage in this area. Just all the Spectral Helix. And when the boss start to take damage... Yeah, when it started to take damage, it would just, and the damage reduction phase go away, it would just instantly pop it, basically. So, potentially, I think the Spectral Helix of Trathus here as a trap even have more potential than that one. I think if you stack a bunch of reduced projectile speed to the point where it basically doesn't move, which is possible, and yeah, to just throw a bunch of traps before a boss. When the boss spawned, you probably have like hundreds of like Spectral Helix like just standing there waiting for it and deals damage. So potentially this can be insane for like just deleting bosses, I think. Spectral and by the way, it being a trap means you can use a slow weapon, skill, trap throwing speed, and slow weapon traditionally comes with big damage. So yeah, I think that can be something that you can use, right? So slow weapon, big boy damage. I think the damage of this thing is going to be pretty damn insane. I like this skill. Spectral Shield Throw of Trathus. This basically is a lot of projectiles, a lot of secondary projectiles. So it just goes everywhere. I think this skill is just strong, mostly for clearing. Yeah, just 23 additional projectiles. Look at this one. 23 additional projectiles. That is a lot of projectiles. Spectral Shield Throw, not Spectral Throw of Trathus. This is basically the same as this one, but it is Spectral Throw, and it actually is Fire Nova of Spectral Throw. So I think this can potentially be decent for clearing, because it has decent base attack damage for the damage effectiveness, and it fired in a circle. It has built-in 5 projectiles. So if you have additional projectiles, there will be more. But it is just a Nova around where you throw. So I think this can potentially be really good for just clearing. Maybe you can make a build with this clearing and this for single target. I think that is going to be pretty good. Dark Pact of Trathus. This skill is the Molten Strike of the Zenith, but Chaos and Spell. Sacrifice 50% of your life to deal 400% of that amount as chaos damage. Now, let's do some math. If a build says have 10,000 life, which is a low number compared to life stacking build, says you have 10,000 life. You sacrifice 50% of it. So that is 5,000. 5,000 times 400%. That is 20,000 base damage. So this basically is just a big boy hit after you stack enough ruin. Ruin, you have one every single time you used it. I personally think you don't even want to get quality on this one because seems like the quality is chance to gain an additional ruin on use. You want consistency, so you don't want chance to gain additional ruin here because you want to reach 6 ruin before a boss by just casting them, and then when the boss appear and can take damage, you do the 7 time and just pop the boss. I think this can potentially create a bunch of like one-shot highlight for bosses. A Stormcall of Trathus, I think I like the visual effect and the theme of this skill, and the fact that it is a little bit different than the normal Stormcall in the sense that normal Stormcall, each mark will expire after its duration. This one, if one mark expire, they just expire everything based on the wording that I see here. So yeah, maybe it can be fun. The physical damage also make it much easier to scale, by the way, because in POE 1, physical damage can get a lot of conversion layers and damage as extra layers, which is a very, very effective way to just scale any skill that is physical. Damage conversion in POE 1 is so much more broken than POE 2, if you comes from POE 2. Mark my word. Wave of Conviction of Trathus. I think this probably will not be used as a main skill because the limitation of only one Wave of Conviction can be active at the same time. So for example, if you want to spam it for single target, you kind of need to be like right on top of the boss because your next cast is going to delete the previous cast. So yeah, you cannot wait for the travel time if you want to spam it. But if you want to scale a bunch of AoE and just have a skill that just clear everything around your character, like a Nova, it looks cool, right? It looks cool. And yeah, this is just a support gem. So that is everything I want to share in this video today. Now I need to finish my lunch and go back to work. So thanks for watching. I hope you enjoy. And if you do, leave a like, share, subscribe, all that thing. Remember, to play the game, do not let the game place you. I am very hungry right now, so yeah, I'll just sprint through everything. Peace.